14 minutes ago, the usually orderly atmosphere of Amsterdam Airport Schiphol was shattered by an overwhelming surge of purple-clad fans. Thousands of armies, BTS's fiercely devoted global fanbase, converged in unprecedented numbers, their cheers and chants reverberating through the terminal as the long-awaited arrival of Jin unfolded before stunned onlookers. Witnesses described the scene as nothing short of extraordinary, not merely a celebrity welcome, but the kind of reception reserved for national heroes. What drove such a mass mobilization, and why did it feel as though the city itself had been momentarily transformed into the epicenter of global pop culture? The first reports from inside the terminal paint a picture of chaos and unity intertwined. Airport staff struggled to maintain crowd control as barriers strained under the pressure of fans pressing forward, each determined to secure even a fleeting glimpse of Jin. Security forces, visibly reinforced in anticipation of the event, coordinated tightly, forming human walls to carve out a secure path from the gate to the waiting motorcade. Yet even the most disciplined lines of guards could not drown out the deafening chorus of voices, chants of Jin's name that swelled like waves, shaking the glass walls of the arrival hall. For those witnessing the spectacle for the first time, it was almost incomprehensible. How could one individual inspire such intense, unified devotion? Jin's emergence through the arrival gate was instantaneous electricity. In that split second, camera flashes erupted like lightning, illuminating every angle of his calm, yet visibly moved expression. Though wearing dark sunglasses and a simple black coat, there was no mistaking the slight quiver in his smile, the subtle tightening of his jaw as he scanned the massive crowd before him. Analysts observing the footage have suggested that this was not merely a standard celebrity entrance. The emotional weight behind his gaze hinted at a deeper connection, perhaps shaped by the long months of separation from the global stage. For the fans present, this was not just a sighting. It was a historic moment that they had waited to etch into their personal timelines forever. Multiple eyewitnesses confirmed that the crowd's sheer size was unlike anything Amsterdam Airport had seen for an international pop star. The arrivals hall and adjacent observation decks were fully lined with armies holding banners, LED boards, and hand-painted messages. From "Welcome Home Jin" to "Our Astronaut Returns," the slogans reflected not only admiration for his artistry, but a profound emotional attachment that blurred the line between fan devotion and cultural movement. Some had camped outside the airport for over 24 hours, braving the August chill in order to secure prime viewing positions. This was not merely a gathering. It was a carefully orchestrated operation of love, complete with coordinated fan chants and even synchronized waves of purple light sticks sweeping through the terminal like tides. The term, "welcomed like a hero," has rarely felt so literal in the entertainment world. While celebrity arrivals are common, the symbolism in Jin's reception echoed far beyond pop culture. Military veterans returning home, Olympic athletes after a gold medal victory, national leaders stepping off state visits. These are the moments such scenes are usually reserved for. And yet, here stood Jin, a singer, songwriter, and global icon, greeted with a fervor that rivaled or surpassed them. The question that now hangs in the air is, what does this say about BTS's cultural influence, and how far does the reach of their music and message extend into the emotional fabric of millions worldwide? Airport authorities had anticipated a large turnout, but the scale surpassed even the most conservative estimates. According to unofficial counts from fan-organized marshals, the number of armies present stretched into the high thousands, with many more clustered outside in the surrounding streets. Traffic near Schiphol ground to a standstill for over an hour, as vehicles slowed to witness the unprecedented scene. Social media platforms exploded in real time, with hashtags related to Jin's arrival trending in over 40 countries within minutes. Live streams broadcast by fans racked up hundreds of thousands of viewers before Jin had even left the terminal, solidifying the moment as a global event rather than a local occurrence. What made this arrival even more significant was the unspoken understanding between Jin and his fans. While no lengthy speeches were exchanged, the circumstances and security measures allowed little room for such moments. The energy was in the unbroken eye contact, the small waves, the hand-over-heart gesture he gave just before stepping into his vehicle. Every micro-expression was captured, analyzed, and shared, as if decoding the emotional language between artist and audience. For ARMYs, these gestures carried as much weight as any song lyric, each movement a quiet confirmation of mutual loyalty and gratitude. The scale of this reception raises further questions. Why Amsterdam, and why now? Industry insiders have speculated that Jin's presence in the Netherlands marks the beginning of a new chapter in his post-service career, possibly linked to upcoming performances or international projects. His recent appearances have been deliberate and highly curated, suggesting a larger strategy in motion. Yet, for many ARMYs, the specifics of his itinerary are secondary to the fact that he is back in the public eye, physically present and directly reachable, even if only through a sea of outstretched hands and camera lenses. Observers have noted that such mass gatherings are not merely fan activities, they are demonstrations of cultural power. In an age where visibility is currency, moments like this underscore how BTS has redefined the relationship between artist and audience. Jin's arrival was not announced through formal press releases, but rather decoded through subtle clues and fan-to-fan communication, a testament to the intricate global network ARMYs have built. That a single hint could mobilize thousands to a specific location within hours speaks volumes about their organizational capacity and the emotional urgency behind their actions. As the motorcade finally pulled away from the airport, escorted by an unusually large security detail, the crowd erupted once more, a deafening, unified roar that followed the convoy until it vanished into the Amsterdam streets. Even then, fans lingered, reluctant to disperse, as though leaving the site would sever them from the moment. Videos from overhead captured the striking image of thousands of purple light sticks glowing in the dusk, a visual testament to the enduring strength of the BTS ARMY bond. It was not merely an arrival. It was a reminder, to the world and perhaps to Jin himself, of the depth of connection that survives distance, time, and absence. The events of 14 minutes ago will no doubt be dissected for days to come, both by fans and by cultural analysts seeking to understand the scale of BTS's impact. Was this simply a welcome for a beloved artist, or was it the symbolic opening move in something far larger? If the atmosphere in Amsterdam today is any indication, the world has not yet seen the peak of Jin's influence. And for those who were there, pressed shoulder to shoulder in the charged air of Schiphol, this was more than history in the making. It was living proof that some connections defy explanation, demanding instead to be experienced in all their overwhelming. The energy from Schiphol Airport has not subsided. If anything, it has spilled into the streets of Amsterdam, creating a ripple effect that is now drawing even those who were not originally there. 14 minutes may have passed since Jin disappeared into the motorcade, but the emotional aftershock remains palpable. Fans are still gathered outside the airport, replaying the footage on their phones, exchanging photos, and clinging to every detail they managed to capture. For many, this was their first time seeing him in person since his military discharge, and the significance of that cannot be overstated. The reunion between Jin and his global audience has been long overdue, and the airport became the stage for a moment that felt both deeply personal and universally shared. Inside the city, cafes and public squares are already buzzing with conversation about the event. Taxi drivers speak of traffic jams unlike anything they've experienced outside of royal visits. Local news outlets are running continuous loops of the arrival footage, cutting between the mass of armies chanting and the brief but powerful moments when Jin acknowledged them. It is a rare instance in which a pop culture event has overtaken mainstream coverage in the Netherlands, competing with political headlines and international affairs. The question on everyone's lips now: where is he headed next, and will the public be given another chance to see him before he leaves? Social media is functioning as a real-time archive of the event. Clips of Jin's hand-over-heart gesture are being slowed down, analyzed frame by frame, with fans debating whether his slight bow was intentional or instinctive. Others focus on his expression, interpreting the faint tremor in his smile as evidence of how deeply moved he was. Aerial shots from drones, operated by fans positioned far from the immediate crowd, show the airport from above, bathed in purple light as dusk settled over the scene. It's a visual that could easily become one of the defining images of BTS's post-hiatus era. Security experts have weighed in on the magnitude of the gathering, noting that it was managed with surprising precision despite the overwhelming turnout. Sources close to the ground described the coordination as a joint effort between airport security and privately hired personnel who had been briefed days in advance. Still, the sheer unpredictability of fan enthusiasm meant that several checkpoints were temporarily overwhelmed. No injuries have been reported, but multiple fans fainted due to crowd pressure and emotional overload, prompting quick medical response from on-site teams. For an event without official promotion, the turnout was a logistical challenge of the highest order. The fact that thousands could be mobilized purely through whispers, cryptic online posts, and shared intuition speaks volumes about the ARMY network. They operate not as a loosely connected fandom, but as an organized, almost tactical unit capable of executing large-scale gatherings with minimal notice. It is a phenomenon that defies conventional marketing logic. No billboard, press release, or formal announcement could have achieved what happened in Amsterdam today. The information spread like a spark in dry grass, igniting a movement that turned a major European airport into a living monument of fandom power. Jin himself appeared visibly aware of the rarity of this moment. Observers noted the way he slowed his pace after exiting the gate, scanning the crowd as though committing it to memory. The brief pause before he stepped into the vehicle seemed deliberate, a silent acknowledgement that what was happening in front of him was not ordinary and would not be repeated in quite the same way. This was the first time Amsterdam had ever witnessed such a reception for an artist of his profile, and it is unlikely to be forgotten soon. As night falls, the scene outside the airport is gradually thinning, but not without lingering echoes of the earlier chaos. Purple banners lie folded in the hands of departing fans, their voices hoarse from hours of chanting. Yet their energy remains undiminished, shifting online as global armies who could not attend flood social platforms with messages of pride and longing. Many are already booking travel for Jin's next rumored appearance, determined to be part of whatever chapter follows. This arrival will inevitably fuel speculation about BTS's collective future. For years, the group's activities have been a mix of individual projects and military service obligations. Jin's public movements are now being watched for signs of larger reunions or collaborative performances. Could Amsterdam mark the quiet beginning of a broader return? The intensity of today's welcome suggests that the appetite for such a comeback is not only alive but stronger than ever. From a cultural standpoint, the sheer force of today's turnout challenges traditional boundaries of celebrity. Jin's arrival blurred the lines between music, movement, and historical event. It is one thing to have fans. It is another to inspire an international migration of people united not by proximity, but by emotional allegiance. In Amsterdam, that allegiance manifested as something almost ceremonial, a recognition that Jin's presence carried weight beyond entertainment, into the realm of shared identity, As the streets grow quieter and Schiphol returns to its usual rhythms, the footage of those 14 minutes continues to spread. Every repost, every retweet, every shared video ensures that this will not fade into memory as just another celebrity sighting. It will live on as a moment when a city was overtaken by color, sound, and the unshakable bond between an artist and the people who refused to let him forget his place in their hearts. If this was merely the prologue to what comes next, Amsterdam may have just witnessed the opening act of something the world is not yet prepared for.